There's just so much.
You're listening to a Mamamia podcast.
Mamamia acknowledges the traditional owners of the land we have recorded this podcast on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures.
Hello and welcome to Cancelled. I'm Jessie Stevens and you are Claire Stevens. And we've been trying to make it on TikTok. We have. We're the Cancelled podcast on TikTok. And I came across a comment last night that I thought you'd enjoy, Claire. I know that you've tried to delete TikTok just momentarily to focus on other things. Well, there was a comment from what I can only assume is a young person who described us as, and I quote, two white girls with iron deficiencies. I hate how accurate it is. That's the most eerily accurate description of us.
Were they saying it as a mean thing?
I don't know.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it was meant to be mean.
Was that my doctor?
I don't know. I don't know how they knew that we had iron deficiencies. We must be looking pale.
Oh my gosh, I think we are. Well, speaking of comments, can we talk about who else commented on one of our videos?
Yeah, Julia Fox.
Julia Fox commented on one of our videos and we're really confused about it.
Yeah, Julia Fox, who is Kanye West's ex, who says uncut gems.
Uncut gems.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like things like
Right.
that.
Trying to explain that to Mum was a real...
I know. I'm like, it's the uncut jumps.
Uncut gems. Every week, we put a celebrity who is potentially facing cancellation on trial. We examine their crimes and then we offer charges and sentences. So all of us, mostly you and I, can get on with our lives in peace. Today, in the defendants, I've got question marks because I don't know if that's the right terminology, chair, is Brad Pitt. William Bradley Pitt is a man with a perfect face. There are two things you must know before we continue.
His jawline. Sorry.
That would be a third thing.
Okay.
The first is that he is not just distantly, but very distantly related to, just guess. 3, 2, 1, guess.
Alexander the Great.
Okay, no, but kind of close. The 44th President of the United States, one Barack Obama.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Oh.
Brad Pitt is related to Barack Obama.
Oh, God.
There is a gentleman from the 18th century named Edwin, who is a common ancestor. Imagine your genetics spawning Obama and Brad Pitt in the same generation.
Oh, it's so sad that ours is like us and like Nan.
And like Uncle Ross. Not bad, Edwin. Not bad. The second thing you must know is that Brad Pitt says he has facial blindness.
Oh.
He's never been diagnosed with it, but he said in 2013 that he had it.
I'm fascinated with those people because I'm the opposite. I have
Yeah.
exceptional facial recognition skills.
Can you imagine? Because facial blindness is when you can't recognize like another person or whatever.
But that'd be actually great being in Hollywood because it happens with famous people as well. So people will say, I met the celebrity I've been obsessed with my whole life and I didn't recognize them.
Well, imagine being Brad Pitt, right? You've got facial blindness. You get up in the morning, you look in the mirror. Holy shit.
Holy shit, I'm beautiful.
Every morning.
Oh my God, that cannot be my face.
Is that my face? I'm beautiful. Brad, or Willie, as we might call him, was born in Oklahoma to a man named, Claire, do you want to guess what his dad's name was? 3, 2, 1, William.
Oh, close.
So it was William had William.
Yeah.
And we've talked about people in the past that named their kids after themselves. William had a truck company, but that's not relevant. All you need to know is that Brad, he was still little Willie then, was studying at the University of Missouri, majoring in journalism with a focus on advertising. He was going to be Donald Draper.
Yes.
But then a few weeks out from his course, I believe that he looked in the mirror and he went, holy shit, I think I need to be an actor.
He went, can I sell things? Of course.
Of course.
Can I sell dreams? Yes.
Yes, I
I can sell more than just products with this face.
He went, holy shit, look at my face. And he went to Hollywood and he became Brad Pitt.
I think he just entered like the general suburb of Hollywood and someone went, whoa, how do you not have a job?
Get on set.
Yeah.
He literally got to LA, people saw his face, and then he became Brad Pitt.
Okay.
That sounds dismissive because he's also a very good actor. We should acknowledge that. But this is not called the Compliments Courtroom.
No.
We are here to solve crimes. My structure will be as follows. A, what he did to poor Jen. B, what he did to poor Ange. C, the time he ghosted Hurricane Katrina victims.
Oh, no.
D, a $600 serum. I will begin with poor Jen.
Okay, before you get started, I just want to have on the record, I don't know a lot about the naughty things he's done. So
you feel quite good about him right now.
So my passion for But He's Beautiful Bradley, I know that that's going to be wrong.
Yeah, it is.
And probably offensive.
Okay.
Continue.
It's 1994 and Brad meets Jen. And she's like, he's just this sweet guy from Missouri. And it's like, no, look at his face. Look at his face. They start dating 4 years later, 1998.
She would have been more famous than him.
She was friends.
But she would have been more famous than him at that stage.
Yes. In 2000, they get married. And Jen made a beautiful bride.
Of course. Her skin tone in white. My God.
White is her colour. Great hair. There was a lobster meal.
Okay.
They had 13 minutes of fireworks. It cost $1 million. In February 2004, which was the end of her time on Friends, she told The Guardian, I'm ready to have a baby. Right? She says, this is the next stage. I can work and have a baby, blah, blah, blah. This is February of that year. 3 months later, Brad Pitt starts work on his next role, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And he meets a lovely little lady named Angelina Jolie.
From the director of The Bourne Identity.
Come on, sweetheart. Come to daddy.
Who's your daddy now?
Brad Pitt. Angelina Jolie. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Jolie would later say that because of the film, we ended up being brought together, we did all these crazy things, and there was this strange friendship and partnership that kind of suddenly happened. And I realised, God, I can't wait to get to work. And she said it took until the end of the shoot to realise that they'd fallen in love. Mm-hmm. But anyone who went and saw that film knows there was sexual tension dripping off that film. And they would both later, years later, independently confirm in interviews that the relationship started then.
Just a comment on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Not a good film.
You know?
Not good.
It was like reviewed really well and everyone was like, yeah, there was a lot of fuss, but it was also a great film. And I was like, no, it wasn't. It's just Brad Pitt and Angelina kind of like
running
having
around.
Lots of sex.
Yeah.
It's very, very strange. In Jan 2005 came the statement that Jen and Brad had split.
We think there was definitely overlap.
There was definitely overlap.
Oh, no.
The statement's like, oh, we're still caring friends, blah, 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 blah. And that's not a crime. Divorce isn't a crime. I looked it up. But then he did something shady.
Oh.
It's April 2005 and Jolie and Pitt are in Kenya with Angelina's son, Maddox. They are paparazzi'd, papped on the beach, looking beautiful and very much like a family. The photos are published and Jen, oh, poor Jen. She's so sad. He's moved on. He's a family man.
Do we know that Jen's so sad?
Yeah.
I imagine Jen would have been
was
very
sad.
sad.
And everyone was like, the dirty, dirty paps, they've upset our Jen. Well, it's since been confirmed that the paps were tipped off. They were tipped off by Angelina Jolie and I am putting on the record by extension Brad Pitt. He knew. You can tell he was posing in the photos.
That's cruel. It sounds horrible, but having Maddox in there makes it worse.
Yeah, they orchestrated the moment so they could come clean about their relationship and move on with their lives. The following year, Brad Pitt orchestrates this weird as photo shoot with W Magazine that I had never heard of or seen until today. I have some images to tender into evidence. Claire, please describe what you are seeing.
It's Brad Pitt sitting at a table looking weirdly religious because he's holding hands. There's 5 children at the table. They're all holding hands. Angelina's there. It looks like they're praying before they're eating. There appears to be triplets there that are not their children.
No. What's the second image?
It's Brad Pitt dancing with Angelina, but she looks so drunk she can hardly stand up.
Yep.
Is that the vibe?
Correct.
They look like Sims.
They do. They do.
In the picture of Brad and Angelina, the way they're standing, they literally look like Sims.
You move.
Okay, this is what I have to show you, is how the images then escalated.
Okay. Okay, so we have Angelina passed out on the bed and
he's holding like a gun, like
Brad
gun
Pitt
fingers.
leaning over her with what looks like a gun symbol like over her face.
Yeah, and
really
then
aggressive.
scroll to the next one.
Oh my God.
He appears to be like attacking her.
It's rapey.
Yeah.
It's rapey. She's kind of on her stomach and he's got a glass of some kind of alcohol. And now he's doing it even further. He's like on top of her and like squishing her face.
Yeah. So it's a 60-page portfolio titled Domestic Bliss. The concept was a collaboration between Pitt and a photographer. And I don't know if I'm missing context, but it seems violent and also weird.
Is that kind of the point? Do you think it was maybe meant to make
He thought it was artistic.
But maybe it was meant to make a profound point about how relationships can look beautiful from the outside
Maybe.
but be violent on the inside. I don't know. I don't think William Bradley is clever enough for that point. But if he was, it's a good one. But if not, it's really fucked up.
I need you to know that Jen was not okay.
Oh, Jen.
Because she saw it, Claire, in the magazines. There were 60 photos. In September 2005, there's an interview with Vanity Fair where Jen Aniston walks into the room. The interviewer says, "Hello, Jen," and she bursts out into tears and she starts crying.
Oh.
And then she said, "Am I lonely? Yes. Am I upset? Yes. Am I confused? Yes. Do I have days when I've thrown a little pity party for myself? Absolutely. But I'm also doing really well."
Jen, I don't know if you're doing that well from the sounds of things.
Jen, you are doing terribly.
And you don't need to be doing well.
You're doing so bad. She said that Brad checked out of their marriage as soon as Mr. and Mrs. Smith started filming.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, and also famously describes Pitt as missing a sensitivity chip. And that was in response to those photos.
That's a great summation of a certain type of man.
Yeah, and she said he won't have done it on purpose. He didn't do this to hurt me.
It's oblivious.
If you asked him why he did that, he would say it is art,
Oh,
which
honey,
says
it's
everything
not.
about him. A source told Vanity Fair that Jen really wanted to have babies when she was with Brad, but it was never a priority for him. And apparently the most painful thing for Jennifer, this is speculation, was seeing him not only move on with another woman, but have 3,000 babies.
I was going to say 42, but 3,000 is a better estimate.
Years later, Brad Pitt is doing an interview to promote Moneyball, and he says out of nowhere, "It became very clear to me that I was so intent on trying to find a movie about an interesting life, but I wasn't living an interesting life myself." This is when he was with Jen. "I think that my marriage," implied to actress Jennifer Aniston, "had something to do with it, trying to pretend the marriage was something that it wasn't."
Oh, God.
He's being mean in the press, and I don't like it.
No.
It is time to move on to what he did to poor Ange.
Oh, gosh, yes. This is often said in courtrooms. If he does it to someone else, he'll do it to you.
Well said.
That's what they
well
say.
said.
That's
A
what
leopard
they
doesn't
say.
change his spots,
Yes.
is what they say
Shame
in courtrooms.
if you do it once.
Shame on you twice, shame on me.
Not shame on Ange.
Not shame on
Shame on
Ange.
Brad.
Shame on Brad.
Yeah.
In December 2009, a book came out called The Untold Story of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. The author claims to have spoken to nearly 900 sources.
That's too many.
That's too many for a book about Ange and Brad.
I don't think that many people could possibly know anything. I reckon like 5 knew something. The rest were like, I passed her on the street once. She seemed cranky.
I wrote here, if we've got 900 sources, fix a conflict. Maybe that's what we do with our 900 sources. On Bradgelina, too much work.
Yeah.
Okay? We got hyper-focused on the wrong thing. Nevertheless, they say Brad cheated on Angelina, and he had 900 sources. The pair sued a paper for picking up the story and writing around it, and they actually won. Brad and Angelina won. Does it mean it's not true? Probably yes.
Oh, okay.
But this is my courtroom, and I found that interesting.
You can bring gossip if you want to.
I would put this gossip on the table. Eventually, Jolie and Pitt get married. It's all lovely. As we discussed, they have their 47 children. Whatever could go wrong. I enter into the story 1 times private jet.
Okay.
It's lucky for them, because if this was today, the private jet would get them in trouble.
The private jet would be the problem.
Yes.
It is a little bit, they're saving the world.
They also have 47 children, so it's just a commercial flight.
Yeah, no, actually true.
It's just a Virgin flight.
You would have to book the whole plane
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
I
let's
guess
just call it a Virgin flight from France to California.
Yeah.
They're on it. It's 2016. The family is returning to California. A since-released FBI document says that Jolie accused Pitt of physical assault aboard the plane, where he is said to have led her to the back of the plane, where he grabbed her head and shoulders and shook her while yelling, "You're fucking up this family."
Oh my God.
He allegedly punched the ceiling of the plane 4 times, and Jolie says that he was inebriated. And apparently the more he drank, the more this situation escalated on the plane. He is said to have then poured beer on her as she was under a blanket with the kids. The private jet also sustained $25,000 worth of damage from spilled red wine.
Oh.
That is so much red wine.
That's a lot of spilling.
Spilled it everywhere.
Also, separate to the domestic violence, which is appalling, I don't want someone punching a plane roof while I'm in the air.
Great point. I'm also worried about the ceiling. I didn't even think of that. Because what if we went bang, 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 air comes in, we're not pressurised.
It's like having a fight in a lift.
Oh, don't do it.
Don't
It's too
do
small.
it. It's a danger.
Wait until we get out. Wait until if there's things to say, but to escalate it on the plane, don't like it. A source with knowledge of the incident told People that there was an argument initially between Brad Pitt and Maddox and that it escalated more than it should have. The source acknowledged that Pitt put his hands on Maddox but didn't hit him in the face.
Oh, well.
Basically, there's this long-standing rumour, which Brad Pitt himself has acknowledged, of alcoholism and weed dependency and anger issues. And apparently since the split, Pitt hasn't been paying child support, which is interesting given he is worth $300 million. Now moving on to the time he ghosted Hurricane Katrina victims.
Oh, no.
In the wake of Hurricane Katrina, Brad Pitt did that thing celebrities do sometimes, where they promise to help pledge stuff, but then it gets really boring, so they stop answering the phone.
You know, what we saw at Katrina is that there is a portion of our society that's being overlooked. And in the aftermath, we're not going to be able to bring back the friends and family that are lost. We're not going to be able to bring back their heirlooms and their photographs. But maybe we can provide a better way of life. Maybe we can find some good out of this. And that has to deal with justice and fairness.
It is hard, and that's why entire organisations are built to do
Yeah.
this. But it's the impulsivity.
Yeah.
It's the, I'll solve the problem, here's some money.
And it's the photo shoots.
Yeah.
So he was getting these photo shoots in front of like all the dilapidated houses and he was like, I'm Brad Pitt, I'm here to help.
And how lovely when everyone starts saying, oh my gosh, what a good guy, he's done all this stuff.
Yes.
Well, when you're actually doing the stuff, no one's saying that to you.
It gets really boring. This was in
Yeah.
2006. Well, then a year later, it's 2007. And it's like, why isn't this done?
Oh, no.
So basically in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, he's in New Orleans. Actually, he had a house there with Jolie. And he went over to the area that had been damaged. And he said, guys, I've arrived. Not only am I going to build your houses, I'm going to build them sustainably. I'm going to flood-proof them. And they're going to be affordable, and I'm going to make 109 homes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he
It's
said.
a big commitment, super specific.
He held galas with rich people, and he made a lot of fuss. He started the not-for-profit, which was called Make It Right.
He's got a name, maybe a logo. You know,
Yeah,
he's done
he had a
bit of
logo. He had a website.
a website.
He had
There
an
we go.
office with a phone. Claire, the houses, they fell down.
Oh, no.
The stairs collapsed. Black mold. Fires caused by electrical problems. Plumbing problems. Residents kept getting sick, likely because of the black mold.
Oh, no.
The houses were defective.
He, of course, had the best of intentions, but now we're being told some of those homes are falling apart.
Rotting wood and mold so bad that some people who have lived there have reported getting sick.
I will never begrudge a man for trying to do a good thing unless he stops answering the phone, which he did. When the rot started, initially, this Make It Right Foundation sent people to be like, go and address the rot, right? But then the not-for-profit started telling people, yeah, we see the rot. Before we address it, could you please sign a non-disclosure agreement? We don't want you going to the press about the rot. It makes us
It's
look
embarrassing.
bad. Makes us look bad. And then everyone was like, we might not be celebrities, but we smell a rat.
Okay.
There were probably rats living there too because it was
Yeah.
water damaged. While the houses were literally falling down, Pitt was speaking to the press, being like, I'll tell you, every time like I drive over this particular bridge, no matter what frustration I might be dealing with at the moment, I get this feeling of pride when I see this little oasis of colour and the solar panels.
All right. Well, inside there's rot. And there's black
and there's
mold,
wet.
And there's sick people. And what annoys me is it's not like he doesn't have the means to fix the issues. Is it annoying? Sure, but you have the money. All you need is the money and
It's
you can
annoying,
fix it.
but we also, as aforementioned, is boring. Okay, problems are boring
Slow.
to fix. And the thing about a problem is like you fix it, a new problem.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not what I signed up for. So the next month he went, fuck this, I'm leaving New Orleans. I'm leaving. And then he closed Make It Right. He disconnected the phones and he turned the website off. You could not reach the website.
All right, so we can't just abandon a state. We can't. It still
We can't,
exists.
not when we
All those
promise.
people.
He ghosted Hurricane Katrina victims while being like, I'm so proud. So they got together and they said, class action suit.
More lawsuits filed in the Make It Right Brad Pitt Homes saga.
We love Inglourious Bastards as much as the next person, but this man ghosted us.
And there is so much rot in my house.
My house is wet.
And it's like, I wouldn't have lived in the house if you hadn't built it.
And literally made me live in it.
He gave me the house and it's terrible.
It's a terrible home. Pitt has denied all responsibility. A source close to Pitt.
Oh, I'm not saying you built it. I don't think you did anything.
No, but you were the face of it when things are going well.
Yeah.
You didn't put your face next to the black mould.
No.
A source close to Pitt told The Guardian, Brad got involved at the beginning to help these people, and obviously it was upsetting to see what happened once he had stepped back from the project and others took over. This is very Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh, no, other people taking over. Not my fault.
Yeah.
Bye.
In the end, there was a settlement for more than $20 million paid by the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio, who bailed him out.
Okay.
And Edward Norton.
Oh, I have a theory that Leonardo DiCaprio bails everyone out.
He does.
Because he's like, hard relate, haven't we all? No, Leo, we haven't.
No.
Why couldn't Brad bail himself out?
Because it was like another charity came along and was like, you know what, we got this. Like it was like another charity just came and said that they'd fix it, I'm pretty sure. And Leo was like, I've got 3 charities, which one you want?
Okay.
And he's good with like sustainability. He's literally been saving the planet for a while now.
Yeah, he's like, I
actually saved the planet.
Yeah. Instead of just pretending. And he's like, I know a thing or two about building sustainable places that don't have rot, for example. Good on you, Leo.
Yeah. So Leo, we don't cancel him along the way.
No.
Good man.
He may be cancelled separately for other issues, but not in this instance.
Very handsome man.
Yeah.
Lastly, skincare line. Brad Pitt has a stupid skincare line, and I've seen the ad, and there is no way this man has ever used a serum in his life.
I got a morning wash, I do my serum, I do my day cream, and I'm done. I'm out the door.
The serum, it's $600. The brand is called La Domaine. It was launched this month, and apparently the products are made from grapes selected from a French vineyard. The moisturizer...
That's wine.
Yeah.
Are you just making wine for my face?
Yes.
Because that's fine, but it's not $600.
The moisturizer, a little bit cheaper, comes in at $500. And you're like, I can't afford that. I want a bargain. Well, may I offer you a $125 cleanser?
No.
That's what he's got.
No, he didn't need...
May I suggest all of them?
No.
Get the package.
No.
You can't use the serum without the moisturizer.
No one wants the package, Brad. My thing here is...
It's genderless, so...
Oh...
Everyone can buy it.
You know what that reminds me of, having skincare that isn't for men or women, which is probably quite progressive, but it reminds me of shampoo, conditioner combined. It's like, it's not shampoo, it's not conditioner, it's both. No, it makes my hair knotty.
No, it's neither.
It's soap. It's a bar of soap.
Well.
Is what I've done to my hair, and now who's gone brush it? Not me. Brad, nobody needed a skincare line from you.
No.
That's just...
And he's like, I talked to my friend Gwen. And like Gwen's given me like a lot of advice because that was his girlfriend before Jen.
Are they still friends?
Yes.
I feel
and
like...
Brad and Jen are now kind of friends.
Hi, Aniston.
Hi, Pitt.
How you doing?
Good, honey. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Brad is friends with his ex-girlfriends because after a lot of therapy, what they realise is...
He didn't mean it.
He makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bad guy. But he does it unconsciously.
It is time for charges and sentences. My charge. Obviously, there are potentially real crimes here. I will be leaving them aside for actual courtrooms that are looking at them.
I was going to say, that's actually in court, isn't it?
If he did them, that's bad. That's what I have to say on that. So my charge is causing chaos and relatedly havoc. It was chaotic when he started an affair with Angelina while being married to Jen. And then he released those pics. I didn't like them. It was also chaotic when he ghosted Hurricane Katrina victims.
That creates such
confusion.
An issue for so many people that would be their job to fix.
He wreaks havoc and the women are left to pick up the pieces, and then he a little bit defames them and says, you want to buy my serum? No.
No.
It has no actives. It only has smushed grapes.
Where's the evidence that smushed grapes make my skin better, Brad? Because that's at least what Gwenny's done. She's created a strange website that tells me what works.
False evidence.
Yeah, but at least
she has those.
I'll see a weird
This
ingredient.
is a half-assed. This is more than Goop.
It's more than Skin by Kim. Kim's skincare comes in a bloody stone packaging. So this is
absolutely
ridiculous.
absurd. Anyway, my sentence is, it's inappropriate, but it's all I could come up with. And sometimes lawyers get busy. Wait, I'm not a lawyer, I'm the jury. Sometimes juries get really busy and they go, it's not a great sentence, but it's all I have right now.
I've seen many a jury do that.
Yeah.
Or a judge.
You do the best with what you've got. What I've got is to give the serum to Hurricane Katrina victims because it's basically like paying them in gold.
All right, so the idea is that he'd give them all his stock and they could sell it for
On
money.
eBay, but that feels like work.
And I think the problem is no one would buy it.
No, and I don't think the serum works.
It would be like when you're at school and you're meant to sell those
Freddos. And then you just eat them
And
all.
then you just eat them. That's what it would be, except instead of it being delicious Freddos, it's skincare that doesn't work.
You'd use too much serum and you'd break out. And
Yeah.
they'd call the office that he shut down and leave a message and say, I have irreparably damaged my skin barrier. Please call back. No,
Brad,
he's abandoned his skincare
He
line.
can't come to the phone right now. He's started a new
I
life.
also kind of want him to want Jen back and then Jen to say no.
Yeah.
That was my other thing.
Oh, I think late at night, I imagine that's already happened.
I think it
at
has.
that awards show
Where she looked really good.
where she looked really
Yeah.
good and he said, hey, Aniston.
I don't like it.
Oh, I think it was a power move for her where she was just like, whatever, Bradley.
Sometimes when you're a jury and a lawyer, you forget two pieces of evidence at the end. I just printed off pictures of a young Brad Pitt, a man who thought, I think I want to be an actor. Turned up 100 kilometres from LA and someone spotted him and went, get on set. Handsome man.
All right, so what I'm looking at is a man with a square face.
Is that the one with his six-pack in it? No.
No,
that was a different one.
Beautiful eyes. He's got a very pronounced brow bone and he has a lovely head of hair. And something important about Brad Pitt,
Is
though,
that he has retained the head of hair.
It's retaining the head of hair, but it's also his age. He's become hotter with age, which is a really interesting phenomenon.
So this is another one. He's got his hair a little bit different in that
Yeah,
one.
hair a little bit different. Oh, gosh, he's so gorgeous. Jesse, my charge for Brad Pitt is something that is actually a charge in court. And you might say that's not our job. And I say I decide what my job is. And
Based on
sometimes-
my mood.
Yes. I'm charging him with being a public nuisance. Because he was a nuisance on that plane, at least. At the very least. If not a domestic abuser.
Yeah.
But he was...
Child abuse is the other allegation.
Yes. To do that in a plane, to a plane,
Mm-hmm.
to create that sort of ruckus. But also he's a public nuisance in that situation, but he's also a public nuisance by releasing those photos with Angelina Jolie.
Yep.
That's like an interpersonal nuisance. That's how
and a
I would
public
describe-
nuisance when he went and just said bad things about Jen. And it's like, she's a victim here.
Yeah. So I charge him with that. My sentence is as follows. I want him to try to get the stains out of the jet for one.
Yeah, yeah. Which would require, as we know, because Dad sometimes falls asleep on the couch with red wine in hand. And what he does is he spills it on the pillow and or the carpet. And then every morning you wake up, oh my goodness, there's salt on the floor.
Yes.
Because he's put the salt there to try and get it
absorbs the
out. And then you try and put some wet on it. There's no getting it out.
It's hard if the red wine stain is on the roof. Because how do you get salt? You turn the plane upside down. It's a big job.
You do.
It's a big job for Brad. The other thing is he needs to do community service.
Well, he tried that.
And he needs to do community service with victims of a natural disaster, for example.
I don't think they want him there, Claire.
No, but he needs to do it in a way that's just super grassroots. We're not creating any big fancy initiatives.
We're cleaning up the rubbish.
We're cleaning up the rubbish in an orange jumpsuit. And so every time...
No photo opportunity.
Every time somebody says, oh my God, Brad Pitt, thank you, he says, this is community service. And they say, oh, okay. Cool. Like you've been like mandated by the state.
Oh, right.
Like this isn't you doing this out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah. No press releases, no comments to the media.
And then they say, oh, what court case was that? And he says, oh, the Cancelled podcast. It was Claire Stevens. She said that I had to do community service. Yes,
Why?
I did,
What was
Brad.
your crime?
Being a public nuisance. God.
No, but I'm just saying that's what they would ask.
Oh, yeah. That's what they would ask him. And yeah, he'd say, you should listen to Cancelled.
It's a great podcast.
Great podcast.
Leave a 5-star review.
Yeah. And they'd say, Brad, didn't think you'd love that episode about you. And he said, no, thought it was balanced. They really got my rise to fame correct about me landing in Hollywood.
Yeah, they really did. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Cancelled. We will be back next week. The executive producer of Cancelled is Talissa Bazaz, and audio production is by Leah Porges. If you want to see the receipts from today's episode, such as hot photos of Brad Pitt, those weird photos of that
I'm
strange
posting all of them.
photo shoot with the triplets. Anyway, they will all be in an Instagram highlight on our Instagram. So follow us at @the_twins_thoughts. We put receipts from every episode up. Have a look. We also put weird memes. Bye.
Bye.